It begins early in the morning on a quiet Pennsylvania farm. Graham, a former Episcopalian priest, wakes up in bed. The house feels still, but something isn't right. He checks the children's bedrooms, his young daughter Bo and son Morgan, and notices their absence. He steps outside into the tall cornfields that surround their home. There, he finds his brother Merrill, who had heard strange noises in the night. Together, they find the children standing in the middle of a massive, perfectly symmetrical crop circle in their field. Graham reports the incident to the local police. Officer Caroline visits the farm and investigates the scene, noting there's no evidence of machinery, broken stalks, or human tampering. Though she doesn't suggest anything supernatural, her uncertainty adds to the tension. Back at the house, Bo is already showing her quirks. She refuses to drink her water, claiming that it tastes funny. As Bo offers her dog water, it begins growling at her. Later, Graham and Officer Caroline find the dog dead, with Morgan telling them that he had to kill it as it was trying to attack Bo. Later, Graham tells Merrill to take their remaining dog to the back of the shed and tie it up, as he wants to avoid any more attackings from the dogs. That night, Bo wakes up her father and tells him there's something outside her window. Graham, exhausted and skeptical, walks to her room and looks out the window. What he sees freezes him, a shadowy figure standing on the roof. He jolts into action and wakes up Merrill. The two of them search the area outside, thinking maybe it's just some kids messing with them. But there's nothing. Suddenly, they hear quick, heavy footsteps overhead, on the roof. They rush to see who it is, but the figure vanishes again. Then, out in the field, they spot movement, something running fast through the corn rows. The next day, Officer Caroline comes by again. Graham and Merrill try to explain what they saw: figures, strange movements, and the eerie presence in the fields. But Caroline struggles to believe them. It all sounds too strange, too far-fetched. While they talk, Bo interrupts the conversation and tells them that something's on TV. They all move to the living room and turn on the news. A breaking report reveals that the symmetrical crop circles are being found in multiple countries: India, England, and Brazil. A science expert on the screen calmly suggests that this pattern might indicate extraterrestrial intelligence, and not just human-made hoaxes. The mood in the house begins to shift. Officer Caroline, clearly disturbed by the news, says she's going to contact officers in nearby towns to see if anyone else has experienced similar things. She leaves in a hurry, visibly rattled. Later that day, the family drives into town. Morgan asks to visit a bookstore. Inside, he finds a book on extraterrestrial life and conspiracies. The clerk lets him take it. Morgan clutches it tightly, determined to learn more. Meanwhile, Merrill runs into a few old acquaintances, and Graham has an uncomfortable encounter with Ray Reddy, the man who killed his wife in a car accident. After returning home, Morgan pulls out an old baby monitor and switches it on. At first, Graham brushes it off, telling Morgan not to let this alien talk get in his head. But then, the monitor picks up something, a strange frequency, garbled but rhythmic. They realize the higher they lift the monitor, the clearer the signal gets. Morgan stretches his arm up, and the family hears what sounds like two voices, clicking, tonal, otherworldly, talking back and forth. That night, Graham goes out to feed his dog, but then, the dog begins barking uncontrollably at the cornfield. Graham cautiously approaches, shining his torch between the tall stalks. The beam catches something, briefly, a figure, gray and motionless, hidden deep in the field. His blood runs cold. He turns and runs back to the house. His face says everything: this is real. He tells the others to turn on the news. They watch together in silence as a breaking report plays: lights in the sky. Multiple UFOs, this time, not blurry photos or theories, real footage from Mexico City. Morgan, shaken but focused, records the report. He's afraid the government might try to erase or cover it up. They sit in front of the TV, watching as more footage from across the world is aired. Hours pass. Tension lingers in the room. Eventually, Bo falls asleep, Morgan too, slouched in the chair with the tape still recording. Graham and Merrill remain awake, staring at the screen, unsure of what will come next. The next morning, Graham wakes up early and quietly walks through the house. He finds Merrill in the closet, watching the TV with intense focus. Merrill tells him he had to hide from the kids to watch the news. He didn't want to scare them more than they already were. He points to the screen and explains his theory: the aliens are watching from above, in ships that are invisible to the human eye. They're not just flying around, they're studying people, silently, from the sky. Disturbed, Graham steps out of the closet and walks to his children's room. He finds both Morgan and Bo sitting on the bed with aluminum foil wrapped around their heads. They explain to him, with complete seriousness, that the foil blocks the aliens from reading their thoughts. Morgan then shows his father the book he got from the bookstore. It outlines two possibilities: either the aliens are here to communicate peacefully, or they're here to conquer. The children use their telescope to scan the skies from their bedroom window, desperate to spot something. Back in the closet, Meryl continues watching the news. Suddenly, a breaking report comes on, a home video from a child's birthday party in Brazil. The footage is shaky, people screaming. Then, from between two buildings, an alien walks across an alleyway, clear and unmistakable. Meryl stares, frozen. This is it. It wasn't just imagination the other night. What they saw in the cornfield was real. Later, Meryl walks back into the kid's room, this time with foil wrapped around his head too. No one laughs. No one questions it. They all silently accept the growing fear. As night falls, the family piles into the closet again to watch the latest updates. The news is grim. Over a dozen spacecraft have now been confirmed hovering over India. They're not attacking, not yet, but they haven't left either. Experts and officials offer no answers. A news anchor says that crowds are now flooding into churches, temples, and synagogues around the world, praying for protection, asking for divine intervention, as the world is terrified. Feeling the pressure and helplessness closing in, Graham moves through the house, boarding up the windows. He hammers in the nails tightly, hoping that if the aliens do come, the house will at least slow them down. Later that night, the family sits together for dinner. The mood is heavy. Graham prepares a large meal. Each of them asked for something different, so he made it all. But when Bo asks him to say grace, Graham refuses. He's lost all faith. He believes God has abandoned them, just like when his wife died. Bo begins to cry, and so does Morgan. The emotional weight in the room breaks Graham, and he softens. He reaches for his children and hugs them tightly. Meryl, moved by the moment, joins in. For that brief second, they hold on to each other, scared but together. Suddenly, the baby monitor sparks to life. Static shifts into sound. Something is near. The signal grows stronger. They realize, the aliens are right outside. Graham snaps into action. They barricade the door again. Outside, their dog begins barking violently. Then it lets out a cry, a horrible painful sound, and then silence. Suddenly, they hear a loud thud, then footsteps. The aliens are moving around the house, searching for a way in. Inside, the family stays close. Morgan starts to panic, breathing hard. Graham kneels beside him and tries to calm him by telling a story, his favorite memory. The day Morgan was born. How beautiful he was. How his mother wept when she first saw him. How she said she'd never seen anything so perfect. Suddenly, they hear another crash, glass shatters. The aliens are inside. Graham shouts for everyone to move, down to the basement. They rush down the stairs, shutting the heavy door behind them. But the aliens are right behind. They hear them on the steps, trying the door. Graham and Meryl hold it shut with all their strength, bracing it with their bodies as the aliens push against it from the other side. Later, in the silence of the basement, they turn on a battery-powered radio. A voice comes through, scattered, uncertain, but hopeful. The aliens, it says, are leaving. Reports are coming in from around the world. One by one, they're withdrawing, no one knows why. The family listens in disbelief. Then Meryl cautiously opens the basement door. Sunlight filters in. They step into the house. Everything is in ruins, but no sign of the intruders. Graham decides to drag the TV out of the closet, but then something else catches Graham's eye. In the reflection of the TV screen, he sees an alien. The alien is holding Morgan, seemingly about to harm him. Without hesitation, Meryl grabs his old baseball bat from the wall and swings. The alien grips the boy tightly, then sprays something into Morgan's nose, before the bat connects hard on it and knocks it back, stumbling over a glass of water Bo had left sitting on the table. The water splashes onto its arm, and it screams. Its skin burns on contact. They realize, this is it, water is its weakness. Meryl doesn't stop. He smashes more glasses of water off shelves, soaking the alien. Meryl keeps going, battering it with the bat until it collapses, lifeless, in the middle of the living room. Graham injects Morgan with his penicillin shot. Everyone holds their breath. Seconds later, Morgan stirs. He breathes. Graham's tears well up in his eyes and whispers a quiet, thank you to God, to fate, to whatever saved his boy. And in that moment, faith returns to Graham's heart. Make sure to like and subscribe for more notifications. Until next time. See you soon.